Hi, I'm Alice Medrich. Welcome to my kitchen. I've been playing with chocolate and creating recipes in this kitchen for longer than I can remember. Today I want to show you how to make one of the very first recipes I ever created, especially for Scharffen Berger chocolate. In the earliest days of the company, when we were tasting the different bean blends and the founders were trying to work out how to roast those beans, I immediately fell in love with the deep red fruit, cherry, and almond flavors in the chocolate and this sort of wonderful balanced acidity. And I started to wonder what kind of recipes would show off those flavors. And as I began to experiment, I realized right away that when you've got great flavorful chocolate filled with complexity and nuance, all you need is the simplest possible recipes. You don't want anything that's overwhelmed with fat or sugar or anything that's going to compete with the chocolate. So these individual souffles, which are very simple to make a perfect stage to let chocolate be the star. So here's how to make the souffles. We're going to start out by melting some chocolate with a little bit of milk and a tiny bit of butter. And I like to add a pinch of salt to this. It's an unspecific amount, but it makes for a good flavor. And at this point, 3 egg yolks go in, and I'm just going to stir those around. Now, I've simplified these souffles so much in the process, again, to make sure that it's all about the chocolate. So if you've made souffles before, you'll notice that I've skipped some steps and made this even easier. Now I'm going to put 4 egg whites into a clean, dry mixer bowl. I'm going to beat my egg whites with cream of tartar until they're no longer translucent yellow. So once the egg whites look a little bit like shaving cream, I'm going to start to sprinkle in my sugar. Okay, when the egg whites look like they're stiff and shiny, now sometimes I like to finish them up with a few strokes. Now the usual technique is to fold just a little bit of the egg whites into the chocolate batter at first to lighten the chocolate batter. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. I like to use a nice big bowl so there's plenty of room for that folding stroke. And then the rest of the egg whites, quite frankly, I like to switch to a giant spatula because it's better for folding. Now, one of the great things about this recipe is that you don't have to worry about preparing it at the last minute, which is what scares the heck out of most people about souffles. The souffles can be prepared and put in their little ramekins a day or two ahead, and all you have to do when your company's at hand is pop them into the oven. I'm just going to fold until I don't see separate white and chocolate anymore. Meanwhile, I'll have preheated a 375-degree oven with the rack in the lower third. I prepared my little ramekins by buttering them first and sugaring them, and that gives a wonderful texture when you're eating these. So I'm going to scoop them. Ice cream scoop works wonderfully. And you want to fill at least 3/4 full. One secret is to fill them a little higher and you get a little bit more of a boost in the oven from them. Or the other way to cheat is to use smaller cups and fill them higher, and then you get a little more drama when they rise. Now this has been one of my favorite recipes for years and years. Like I said, one of the things you can do for do-ahead is make them to this point and actually put them in the refrigerator for up to 2 or 3 days. You don't even have to bake them. Then all you do is put them in a hot oven when you're ready to serve, about 15 minutes before you're ready to serve. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in a 375-degree oven, and it's going to take 15, 16, 17, 8 minutes. This is good. They typically rise up and crack a little bit. And then I like to right away hit them with some powdered sugar. And then as quickly as you can, you want to move them onto saucers to serve. Now these are fabulous with plain vanilla whipped cream, but there's a special topping I like to do, which is an infusion of whipped cream with roasted cacao beans. And it gives this lovely nuance of chocolate flavor in this otherwise creamy looking cream. And of course you want to serve these right away before they collapse.